Greetings and salutations, citizens of the Imperium. I am your host, Trooper 6, and you're watching Let's Paint. And on this series, we're going to be doing The Vault Dweller. I will be dropping a link in the description on where I got this beautiful miniature. A little 13 on his back, look at that. So we're doing The Vault Dweller from Fallout 1, or you could even consider it to be the chosen one from Fallout 2. And why on earth are we going to be doing this? Well, because I'm in the middle of a Fallout frenzy or something like that. I don't know. When I find something new, sometimes I tend to obsess about it. I don't know if you're like that too. But if you remember from my last series, I did a Vault Marine. Now, I didn't do this on the series, of course. I did this in my personal time while I was out on medical leave. And I don't know, I just couldn't help but do it. But we're so far absorbed and into this that little known fact about me, I really like to customize things. So I had this custom made on Amazon. You can go do that almost anywhere. And yeah, be jealous, be envious. It's a little phone case. I love it. I took it off my phone to show you guys. And yes, I know, for all of you that know that I hate the color blue, go to hell. I know I hate the color blue, but I had that case in black, as a mock-up. And I was like, as cool as this looks, it's just not accurate. And I really do have this thing that I would like it to be accurate enough. So I just went with the blue because I was like, I'm sorry, but it does look great. It really, really does. Now, as you can see here, we're starting with the base. Now, this mini did come with its own base, which is pretty nifty. I like it, but I'm going to save it for something else because what I had in mind was the Wasteland bases that we've been doing lately. I dig it. It's fairly easy and simple, not too complicated. Has a nice effect, and let's face it, when you are the Vault Dweller, everything is the wasteland up there. Sorry, we're also slightly trying a new camera angle. The setup is different every week or every time that I record. And we are recording this at the last possible minute. So I recorded the Thunder Warriors, right? And that ended up being my shortest series yet, being a 2-episoder. And I didn't have anything ready after that. And I just uploaded that. So today is Monday. This is my recording days. And I just uploaded it on Thursday. And I didn't have anything set up for you guys. So this episode 1 will be up this Thursday or Friday. God forbid it goes any later than that. If it does, I apologize. I really do try to keep it simplistic and consistent. But yeah, like I was saying, we are doing a wasteland base. So eventually I will put some rocks on there. I will put one tuff of dead grass and everything. And of course, what we used for that was the technical paint from Citadel, Armageddon Dust. This stuff is great. It's a little chunky, as you can see, real grainy. It will dry up very nicely. Actually, I don't know why I'm describing everything. You can just see the effects right there. Now that base, this one has, I can't get real good lighting for where my light source is at right now. Well, you can see how light this is as opposed to how dark this is. This has Nuln Oil all over it, which darkened it up very nicely. It didn't leave it that stark brightness that we have. But let's see. We are doing the Vault Dweller, so we might as well get out. One of the only blues that we really have is Ultramarines blue. I've been considering getting a different blue. Just because I don't like how this one, per se, applies when it comes to like white. If I base the model in white, the blue goes there, but then it's very uneven. It's acting very much like a shade oil in a way. And I know I've talked about that kind of stuff before, to where it's almost like these contrast paints will stain the model rather than applying a coat of paint. And that's all right. We don't really have to know all the scientific mechanics behind the paints and how they're working and everything like that. All we really need to know is how to use it and how awesome is it when it's done. And painting it over gray really works for me. It will, darken it up a bit. We've got this seam down the leg here that I'm trying to keep an eye on and not really paint too much, because if we can go over that in white and then stain it with the yellow. And I do mean stain it with the yellow because that one really is like a stain. If you haven't put the Imperial Fist yellow over gray, well, you're not missing much. It ain't going to do much for you. But we just have a nice chill evening or afternoon or morning, whenever you are watching this. We're just down for a chill time. That's all we're here for. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing and tuning in for your viewing pleasure. If you guys have any suggestions for what you want me to paint, by all means, drop a line in the comments. That would be fantastic. I have been getting back to work on one of my big overarching projects that I've been kind of working on for a while now. It's been a few months in the process, but family life, work life, life. Things happen, things slow you down. But it's okay. I mean, I'm not complaining about any of that. It's all good in the hood here. But why am I choosing to do Fallout? Well, like I said, I've been a little bit in a Fallout frenzy lately. I'd always been interested in Fallout. Never bothered with it, of course, because I was busy doing other things and not playing Fallout. And it just wasn't anything that was ever pertinently on my mind. And then, of course, the Fallout show started to come out, and of course it was getting huge raving reviews, and I was like, like, that's cool that this is getting good reviews. Like, that gives me hope. And about the time that it finished, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll give Fallout a try. And I wasn't going to watch the show because I was like, I don't want to learn Fallout that way. So what I did was I started watching some lore videos, get familiar with the history of everything, even though I know the games would teach me this. But color me whatever, that's what I wanted to do. And then I did try to play Fallout 1 on the computer. However, the only way I can play Fallout 1 is by going to classicreload.com and playing it there. And so I did that. And the only real time that I could do that is maybe at work. And dude, there's no time for playing a game at work. There's just no time for that. But they had a computer that had access that I could, pull up the game. And it would have been cool. And it started to be cool. Like, there was a horribly, not even horrible, honestly, but there was just a horrendously slow Sunday. So I started up the game, and I could tell immediately I wasn't going to have time for this. This was one of those in-depth adventure RPGs that I was like, dude, I want to sink, hundreds of hours into this because that it feels like that's what the game would be. And I honestly do not have time for that. I really, really don't. I felt bad enough buying Fallout 4. So Fallout 4 is technically my first venture into Fallout. I figured that'd be a good place to start. It looked like a good place to start. Anyone I had talked to more or less agreed, Fallout 3 would be a good place to start. It's got raving reviews. People loved it. But also Fallout 4 is, beginner friendly and everything like that. So I'd be more than happy going with either route. And I chose to go with the updated Fallout 4 and not like 76 or New Vegas or anything like that. I haven't really heard too much. It seems now that I've looked into it, it kind of seems like there's some mixed reviews when it comes to New Vegas or 76 or whatever it is. And oh, okay. You see that seam there? That little line? That's actually his arm under there, so that's fine. Cool. They kept that going. All right. So yeah, we'll have to come back and paint that the appropriate color. But anyway, it looks like we've got the blue done in his suit. I'm really hoping this is not another 2-episode ordeal, man, because I don't need that blue. We're not done with the blue. We are not done with that blue. What we got to do is get out one of the new-ish. I did use the hell out of it already. But it has a much finer tip, as you can see. And I want to be able to get in here, because I want this shit to look good. And I was very conflicted as far as this paint scheme. So I was going to do blue and yellow, because that's what it looked like for the originals, the original concept and everything. And now it seems in the show and in Fallout 4 with these beautiful and up-to-date graphics and everything, that this stuff is more like gold, which is fine. I just don't know which one I was going to go with. And that's what confused me. I'm sorry if some of these shots are kind of out of focus or off screen. Like I said, I don't know if I said, honestly. New camera angle in a way. It might look the same to you, but it's like slightly up to the right and downward, if that makes any sense. Just get the collar. Just get the collar, please. This is also, I believe, the smallest miniature that we have done on this show. Which, woohoo. I thought about doing some Imperialis. I really did think about doing that, but the Imperialis are epic scale, 6mm. I don't think Daddy's got time for that. I don't think anybody wants to see me struggle for that. If you do, go ahead and comment that that's exactly what you want to see from me. Excuse me while I pick some new background music. I had Skyrim Falkreath in the background. Now I'm just going to go to Towns ambiance for Skyrim, because that's what I want. We are probably going to move this camera over just a bit. I'm trying to find something that is comfortable, I've got a couple of wires here that are just making things a little weird. And one of them is the microphone, because I do use a plug-in mic for this now. All right. So we got it, right? We got it? Yeah. Already messing up. There is one little spot that I want to get right there in the middle of his collar. Because when I go in there and do whatever I'm going to do, I need that distinction to be right there. And you know what? We did forget about the chest a little bit here. Or slivers of it. Slivers. This is a very detailed model for its size. I mean, it's not a small model. It's about the same as your Astra Militarum. But I decided to throw him on a 32 millimeter base. And of course, he's not center because I was very tired last night when I did that. And that's just how that turned out. Next, we're going to turn our attention to the leather. So we're going to go with the Steel Legion Drab, which is basically like a leather brown. For anybody who's using Army Painter products instead of Citadel products, they are basically one and the same shade. I found that out the hard way. I should technically do all that yellow and whatnot first, but I like it's such a showcase, or it's such a spotlight for me for the piece that I didn't want to just jump in and already do it. It's like something I wanted to save. You know, you save the fine details for last. That's something that I wanted to save, so hopefully that doesn't bite us in the ass later. You know, dicks crossed. Do. So yeah, man, Fallout has been fun so far. Don't really have many complaints about Fallout 4. The only thing that I was tempted to even complain about was the fact that your little settlement that you're housing all these people at, that you got to build things for them. I already got my first little, not really mission for that, but I guess objective or whatever you want to call it. I guess you could call it a mission. But they were like, yeah, so we need beds and we would like roofs to go over the beds. Of course, let's face it, this might be the apocalypse, but hey, it would sure help us sleep better. And I was like, yeah, okay. Which I get. It's not a bad part of the game. It's just not a part of the game that I wanted to deal with. I really, really didn't. And so at first, I didn't even know. Or I guess I knew. I guess I made the choice and let some people go there. But dude, I fucking forgot already. I forgot about that crap until I was forced to go back there. Like, I think I finally found a fusion core for my power armor because it was out, and I left it over there. So I went there and I was like, well, hot damn. There's a lot more of you people, and a couple of them I remembered. But then there were a couple that I was like, who the fuck are you, and how the hell did you get here? I don't remember this at all. But either way, no, it is what it is. I'm not exactly going to fault the game. I would sooner believe that I totally forgot that I did something. But that is one aspect of the game that I was not exactly looking forward to. I did not want to do all that. But it's all right. It's part of the game, and we will explore it as we can. And I do stress as we can. So, like a small sliver portion of me misses being on medical leave because I had time to play the game. It was cool. I was very much enjoying playing the game. Now I don't really have time for that. And that is a bummer. You know, it really, really is a bummer. Because I was very much enjoying myself playing that. Really, really wanted to see where else things were going to go. What am I going to do for that? You know what? We're just... what are we going to do for it? We're going to paint that thing black. We're going to be okay. Don't think too much on it. We're still using our haggard-ass brush, too, by the way, because it's still functional, and why not? As you can see also back here, we've been going down the line. Now we've got our trusty Black Templar, and we really are flying on this mini. We really, really are. And we're at 20 minutes, and I want to say we should probably just call it here so that we can do the rest of this mini. And you know what? We are going to call it here. We're going to make this a somewhat shorter episode. So for now, we will see you guys on the next episode. That'll be next week, of course. Fingers crossed that we're not running late on that one. But I will see you guys on the next round. May the Void Father guide your brush. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good one, y'all.